everybody was thinking, why does she want to be Ratchet so freaking bad? Listen, Miley, it's only so long fake Ratchets can pretend. And that's what we saw at the VMAs, a fake Ratchet. That fake Rihanna routine gotta stop, yo. That's not you.
Right, because Miley grew up in a privileged household.
You grew up in a privileged household. You're Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter, dog.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Achy Breaky Heart. Like you can never ever be Ratchet. That bad girl image, we not buying that from Hannah Montana. Like you can't compare it to Rihanna because see, with Rihanna, when she first came out, we didn't know who really Rihanna was. We just knew what the industry was presenting to us. And she wasn't, you know, necessarily squeaky clean, but she wasn't Hannah Montana either. So when she made the transition from the good girl gone bad, as she titled her album, it made sense because she had just came off the situation with, you know, C Breezy. So for her to have a rebellious side made sense. Plus Rihanna was mad organic with it. And you can tell, like, that's Rihanna, you know? Classy, sophisticated ratchet chick from the Caribbean. Right. But Miley, all we see is Hannah Montana posing, wannabe. And what do you want to be? That's my whole thing. Like, do you actually want to be a pop star, or do you just want to be somebody twerking in the background of music videos? Because that's what you look like. You really look like just a backup dancer in an old Yin Yang Twins video. You don't look like Miley Cyrus that's ready for superstardom. Not to me, anyway.
I mean, people keep putting her on records. French Montana put her on Ain't Worry About Nothing remix.
Yeah. Listen, she's the best. Listen, she's the best accessory that black people have had probably since the iPhone. You know, like it's like the iPhone, a gun, Miley Cyrus. Those are great accessories for rappers to have. Like if you pull a rapper over right now, you're gonna find some weed. You probably find a gun, and 9 times out of 10, you probably find Miley Cyrus nowadays. And it works both ways. For her, she gets this street credibility, I guess, and for them, they get to get seen in the pop world. But it's like, is it really benefiting either one of them? Cause she looks corny as hell when she's ain't worried about nothing in the studio with friends. I ain't worried about nothing. Like she look like you really don't belong here. And like the hood ain't gonna never care about Miley Cyrus. Like it's never gonna be a time when you like, oh, Miley Cyrus, that's my bitch right there. That ain't gonna never happen. You're Hannah Montana, dog. Hannah Montana and French Montana, I don't want to hear them doing records together. And when it comes to certain people in the hip hop world, they never want to get accepted in the pop world. So it's like, what's the point?
What do you think about Nicki Minaj working with her?
Nicki Minaj makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Because Nicki Minaj plays in that pop world. So for Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus to be doing a collab together, that makes sense. What don't make sense, Hannah Montana and French Montana. Did that remix even come out?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't even heard it. I saw the video where Miley was in the studio with him, but I didn't know they actually put it out as a record.
Yeah, I heard it. She's like, bitch, I ain't worried about nothing.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was just not gonna say that word.
That shit came and went. You know, but for Miley, certain people work, like Miley and Nicki work. But when you start seeing her with these hardcore street artists, it's like, what's the point? Like, what you trying to prove? Like, you're a privileged pop princess. Period.
So Miley said in an interview, I'm not just a ratchet white girl, I work hard.
Yeah, you do work hard. What that got to do with you being a wannabe ratchet white girl? You're still a wannabe ratchet white girl. If you're, listen, Miley has said 2 things that make me say, okay, she knows that she's posing. Number 1, for you to have to say, I'm not just a ratchet white girl, lets me know that you feel like you're just being a ratchet white girl. Because let's be clear, that's the only reason people are really paying attention to Miley Cyrus right now. We Can't Stop is a good record, but it's not amazing to where we're all over Miley because of her music. We're paying attention to Miley because of her antics, because of her ratchet ways, her ratchet behavior. So yes, you are coming off as just another ratchet white girl. And number 2, when she said, you don't have to remind me that I'm white. I know I'm white. She's thinking about this kind of stuff. You're thinking about, okay, maybe I'm coming off as too black, or maybe if everybody, put it like this, Miley, if everybody's constantly telling you the same thing over and over, maybe you need to start listening. It's not always hating. Somebody's telling you the truth.
Do you know how, like, you know, as a black person, you see something really ignorant on TV and you say like, wow, this has set black people back like 20 years, like, you know, this type of behavior, you know. Do you feel that Miley Cyrus has set white people back, like white hip hop people back?
No. First of all, you can never set white people back in any day and age. They're too far ahead of us. Even, put it like this, even if they're too far ahead of us, that even if they do get set back 20, 30 years, we still got another 400 years of catching up to do. So that's out of the question. And because you still got artists that are truly being themselves. Like Eminem has always been himself. I've never looked at Eminem and said, oh, he's trying to be a black person, ever. He's just a dope-ass lyricist. And that's when you know you get to that point. When you're so good at what you do, you get to the point where people start referring to you as a white rapper or just a white anything. Like, I don't say Larry Bird was a great white basketball player. I say Larry Bird was a great ball player. I don't say Dirk Nowitzki is a great white basketball player. I say he's a great basketball player. I don't say Eminem is a great white rapper. He's one of the dopest rappers of all time, period. When you're still looking like a gimmick and we can tell that you're not being authentic and that's not really you, that's when we look at you and be like, all right, now you're playing yourself. And she's not setting white people back, she's setting the Cyruses back. Because Billy Ray Cyrus worked hard to be the icon that he has become. I guess he's an icon. Achy Breaky Heart's a pretty big record.
Right.
So you come from a nice white upbringing. You setting them back. Because Billy Ray Cyrus is the one getting to Texas like, what the hell is going on with your daughter? Trust me.
You think Billy Ray Cyrus flipped over some tables?
I know Billy Ray Cyrus flipped over tables. Especially when you Google French Montana and you see French Montana CEO of the Coke Boys. Coke Boys? Now you're thinking that your daughter's dabbling in drugs. Is she selling? Is she using? What the fuck?
I'm competing against not just who's hot right now, who's trendy right now. I'm competing against the whole Canada music. Like when I think about the greats like Big Daddy Kane and Rakim, they still in my top 10. Kendrick Lamar's creeping up into my top 10, but he only put out one official album and a couple mixtapes.
But Drake hit me up and was like, yo, I think people misconstrued in this tweet I just tweeted because he didn't hear about what I did and said about my release party. He was like, yo, you did rip that song. And he was like, yo, I think he said that line was from an intro on his album or something, so.